Hey everyone, this is Misery Loves Company, Memorial Day weekend edition. Like we have almost nobody signed up to read, so this might be a quick one. We'll see what happens. But regardless, this is a weekly reading series hosted by miserytourism.com. Every Friday, we welcome outsider and transgressive writers to come and share their work with us. And it's Friday again, so let's get going here. Up first tonight is Ryan Bry. Hey Ryan.
Hey, what's up? Just so everyone knows now, my name, I'm debuting myself. My name is pronounced Ryan Bree, not
Bree.
Ryan Bry.
Bree.
Yes, Bree,
Sorry.
yes. Yeah, anyway, before I begin with the poems, I've got a few poems that I've written for Paradox Healer. I thought I was done with the manuscript, but the poems just needed to be written, so I got more of them. Anyway, before I begin with that, I have show and tell. I invite any reader who wants to also do show and tell whatever objects you have around you. Anyway, I have this lighter. It's a Playboy lighter. You see, yeah. Um, and I got this Game Boy. It's got 400 games on it, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah. It's
this.
got yeah.
I
Okay.
I have this little Tangle toy thing, this like fidget toy that you could wrap and unwrap.
Oh yeah,
Does anyone else want to do show and tell here? This is a great idea, Ryan.
I
Let's kill
I
some
have
time.
I have some, but I don't wanna start talking about them because I'll talk forever. But Ryan, do
Uh-oh.
you have a an at on Twitter? I forget. The Twitter thing's not bringing up your at that you want me to link to.
Who me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's at Ryan Bree tweet. It's like
Okay.
got an
Yep.
underscore and two
Okay.
underscores.
That must be what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Yep.
There's one underscore between Ryan and Bree and two underscores between Bree and Tweet.
Gotcha. Okay.
For some reason, that's why I wanted to, or that's the way I wanted to have my app, and it's been that way forever. So I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Anyone else have anything for show and tell, or should Ryan read now?
All right, that was fun, but all right, okay. It seems like everyone's good on that. So anyway, this is a poem. It's called "Look What Time It Is." In the mall, with seven subconscious colic heads, I saw the personality of the universe reflected, in the way she held up her credit card. And outside in the garden, everyone who has been my friend is smelling incense through a yellowed pillowcase, and they have dug a plot where they say, "Whose grave is this but yours?" to anyone that passes, while a nurse celebrates into her cap that healing has been postponed indefinitely, and the rivers roll their eyes back to where there is only one word. It's called I have built a planet-sized mirror and one day will wander in front of Earth. I saw you suck the cosmic sundae out of a praying mantis and walk near me with eyes smarter than the church, while an armada of beds was attacked by a Thailand spill of light. And if what they're saying is true, then eternal recurrence is just an inflexible piss schedule. But I saw you standing once above a field, filled with butterflies the color of lungs, and the plants pulsed out their dark silence, enough for me to believe in an unseen intelligence, and that any angels that are here have been here since heaven went back in time. Poetry to counter an unsettling imbalance. If we were to naturally become as uncritical as shaman tears, would we still notice her breathing at me like a Chinese mansion? And if the incompatible Jinx wandered close to our powwow, we would have to meet the demands of healing for 4,300 years, which is essentially extending the feeling of the game store throughout all the hallways in the world, until a girl whose name I don't remember anymore fuses her cry with the roots of a plant spreading electric integrity, and the moon hurries to fizz at the bottom of your glass to keep the illusion slaked for another round of unthinking. This is called Candy Gushing into You in a Terrible World. Your eyes pulsed with unplottable incentive, giving strange birth above the huddled and incomplete pieces of tree trunks. A bird collected your sayings and uttered them through collapsible sound, but what resulted was not necessary for children. And it's true that everything you see is just the path of destruction that puts a star in the sky. And when we wake up from all our character comas, we will see the music with our own eyes. This is called May You Haunt Happily During All the Days of Your Life. It was me who set foot in the shattered evening, tentacles blazing, with my eyes dead as a children's story, as I tilted the lively liquid against my lips and became all the breathing violins that descended into their cave today.
I got meds and need to go
Then,
to the
like
doctor.
before your feet, inhabited the music of light, as clouds drop their daffodil screams upon something that may be entirely ready to collide with itself like a storm. I've never seen a palm tree in your house. I feel just like a phone number written in public when I look at you, and it makes me think that a bag of Cheetos is enough sustenance for 72 years or so, spiritually speaking. When I am with you, every planet is an answer to a question that is impossible not to ask, and people are still stepping in my pile of thoughts, kicking the trash with their ankles a little, but I don't care, because this nonchalance is how you'll remember me in other lifetimes with yet more impossible languages, as the blue rhythm of your eyes opens and closes again and again with me, without me. I have 4 more, I think. I know it's a lot, but I've been through a lot. So.
No, it's awesome, man. Go for it. Go for it.
All right. When the energy is tangled like fighting, the birds that will be living in this room when this dimension passes away make me feel like I'm stepfather of the Antichrist, and somebody is leaving the baby to cry to record audio for an art project. I feel like I've just eaten eel that was in a Japanese woman's vagina, and the boy who keeps throwing birds against the window cries into his necklace that is a reminder that he belongs to another place. Do you want to go to the hospital? I sent this one to Manny, he loved it. Do you want to go to the hospital? Okay, thank you. The words that surface during reality's fleeting time have no relation to the depth you have just experienced. Do you want to go to the hospital? God's most common tactic for memory trouble is just to forget the whole thing happened. But there's a God before all of that remembers every particle that can be expressed. Do you want to go to the hospital? Your knuckle is bleeding into the splinter that I used to cut out a portion of sky for you. Do you want to go to the hospital?
Are you working with him?
What if the stairs slipped into another continent while we kissed on them? Would you still want to go to the hospital? The dirt they used to cover people's faces in the movies is the same dirt they will use to cover your grave. Do you want to go to the hospital? I hear they have hospital snacks. And where else would you rather be? To experience the unfriendly birth of your thoughts while nature has been about its noise, forging the classics that are on the shelves. And you can tell me anything you want while you're there, just not during visiting hours. This is regulation. This is the second to last one. When all the trash cans are barfing and I don't care how sad it is because there's a wet leaf inside of me and a battered book of saints somewhere, and the stars know that you have to find yourself. So I am cracking peanuts in the dark hotel room because love is eternal and this is regulation. And living is an open invitation for mystery. Squeeze into the cracks of your persona while you walk down the sidewalk with me, because the night is breathing a portion of time on the surface of what could very well be everything. All right, this is my last one. I wrote this last night. I was laying in bed and I was like, what should I do? I can't sleep. And I was like, I'll write a poem. It's called Is Inspiration an Inevitability? If we survive the microwave weather, then love will come out of the disturbed mechanics of night. And a peacock once died on a diving board with a whisper to you. The idea is that only unexpected things happen. And there is a crooked Game Boy seller that my children all meet on our way to the idea store, where everyone is remembering everything. But I am the only one who knows about you. The way you walk in a glimpse, the way you hush the mountains that are forming on your way inside the grocery store. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Holy shit, Ryan, those were fucking gorgeous. I I adore your poetry, and I adore your poetry because you do something that like is really I think really fucking hard to do, which is that you come up with these incredible images that have this real like mythic, like ancient spiritual quality to them, and yet seem completely unique. Like these are images that I've never seen in another poem before, that I've never heard expressed the way you express them before. These like beautiful lyrical lines, and yet like even though like they feel like terra incognito, right? Like completely new, unworked land, unworked like poetic territory. Like in spite of that, they still have this incredibly like mythic and folkloric and ancient quality to them, where it feels like you're in connection with something with something deeper, with like the collective unconscious or something, to put it Jungian, right? And they're just beautiful, man. They're just fucking gorgeous. So thank you so much for sharing.
Sweet, that's really nice, Rudy. Or, no, sorry, William.
Hey, I,
No,
I got your name wrong. You can get my name wrong, right?
Hey,
All right.
Ryan, no, those I really like that second to last one. I think it was the one with the line in it, just not during visiting hours. That was really fucking good, man. That one hit me good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like
do you want to go to the hospital? Yeah.
yeah, that was so fucking good, dude. Like yeah, like William said, your imagery is just fucking like cosmic and like just wild and weird. And I love it. Like
Thanks,
everything
guys.
you put out is really really sick.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. So, Rudy, you are up next. Well, you're going to be reading Cletus's pieces first. So these
Already.
are three poems that Cletus Crow published. I think they came out in Hobart yesterday. No, today. Today. They
Oh,
came out in
today. Oh,
Hobart
okay.
today. So,
Okay. Well, I will get warged.
oh, here we
Cletus
go.
Crow. Warged. All right. So these are three cat poems by Cletus Crow. The night you stormed out, I had Smokey all to myself. We watched Saw 2, and she didn't budge during ultraviolence. I drank 4 cans of PBR. The ceiling was dingier than usual. I'd never noticed its cracks, how rain discolored waterlogged corners. I tried to fuck the couch cushions. This next one is called Smokey Wants Food. Mew, 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 mew. Oh, mew, meow, mew. This next one is called Not Man Enough. Smokey died. No taxidermist would stuff her. I tried to do it myself via YouTube tutorial and failed. Pink vase full of ashes. And that's Cletus Crow's poems.
Rudy, the cat noises. I'm glad I had you do this one. I don't think anyone here could have topped your cat meowing noises. So about these poems more generally, so I aside from the mew 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 meow mew one, the other two I believe Cletus has read at Misery Loves Company before, but not at the same time. And it's really interesting to see these pieces like presented in this way, because like you get an entire life here, right? It's like a triptych or however you pronounce it, like a painting, like a 3-panel like series of paintings that each depict one discrete moment from this animal's life, and taken together you get the entirety. And that's a really cool approach. And of course I love the fact that it has the usual hallmarks of Cletus's poetry, which is that there's this like really bleak, dark humor running throughout. That is like enlivened in the middle by this moment of real, like this like really cute poem, right? Like you have these two really kind of bleak, darkly funny poems in the beginning and the end, and then you have this really cute poem in the middle. And I think that, I don't know, it's another thing that shows his tremendous range, and it kind of that central poem kind of holds the whole thing together in, I think, a really wonderful way. So thank you to Cletus. I don't know if you're here listening. You said you might be, but I don't necessarily see you. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, Cletus, thank you for sharing these poems with us. And Rudy, keep your mic unmuted because you are up next. And once again, we are very early in the evening, so we do have room for more readers. So if anyone here would like to read, put it in the chat. If not, Rudy and I may have to filibuster for a little bit, because I don't know if we want this video only to be like 20 minutes long or half an hour long. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely, if you want to read, put it in the chat. Rudy, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so damn, it might be a Robert Jordan night tonight, I guess. Um I love Robert Jordan nights because Robert Jordan is my favorite author. Yeah, so once again, I might have to like pause this mid thing to fucking run and get pizza, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, so this one is called I Know. Yeah. Wake up in the morning screaming, I love race communism. I don't know. Neighbors are like, that nigga having an episode. I don't know. Good neighbor is like, maybe it's the Christmas one. I don't know. Bitch at the crisis center is like, I might answer the phone. I don't know. Amish man passed me on his buggy while I'm doing dangerous speeds down the road in Bangor. Like, English go fast. I don't know. World War One Major General, who's a very merry model, say the same thing, looking at the wife of a dead man at Flanders. Like, I don't know. Flanders Elementary School in Malone, shitty as fuck. I don't know. Flanders produced hard ass niggas now and in 1916. I don't know. Niggas with problems keeping it together. I don't know. Niggas come home, no food in the house. I don't know. Niggas that beat the dog brakes off their wife. I don't know. No brakes in my car. I don't know. Might as well keep driving to Potsdam. I don't know. Might as well keep driving to Ogdensburg. I don't know. Might as well check myself back into the mental ward there. I don't know. Might as well get my life together, start a family. I don't know. Might as well marry an Amish girl. I don't know. Might as well fuck an Amish girl. I don't know. Might as well admit to myself I'm a faggot 10 years into our marriage. I don't know. Might as well try on her cap, her cape and bonnets and pretend I'm in some Margaret Atwood shit. I don't know. She catch me doing it one night, go to the bishop like, I don't know. Bishop Yoder is like, them colored men just a little strange. I don't know. She's like, I think he's queer. I don't know. Bishop is like, bitch, it's in the commandments to love yo nigga. Laugh my ass off. I don't know. She's like, I don't know. Someone at work was like, a little Amish boy died and they just buried him in the front yard. Fucking medieval shit. Laugh my ass off. I don't know. Anyway, this bitch is like, my husband gay. I don't know. He likes my clothes more than me. I don't know. The bishop is like, bitch, I'm your uncle. I don't know. Joke about the very real problem of sexual abuse in closed communities. Is a joke like that even funny? I don't know. Anyway, he slapped that bitch hard. I don't know. He killed that bitch or something. I don't know. I steal a horse from William's son and take off like William's son. Boss nigger. I don't know. Going 30 on 11 after 12. I don't know. State trooper sees me like, those Amish sure go slow. I don't know. Good people though. I don't know. wind up riding the horse to death like Forrest. I don't know. I'm in the woods like Jamal. I don't know. That's the black kid from the Gus Van Sant movie. I don't know. A Forrester comes along, is like, "You lost?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, I'll take you back to Malone if you want." I don't know. We go to my old house that's still mine somehow. I don't know. He cuts wood and fixes my walls. Why? I don't know. I go to lay down, rack out, pitch black. I don't know. Wake up the next day and scream, Mr. Frodo going down on one knee for Sam, sealing their fag love with the one ring. Man, I don't know. Neighbors be like, "He's on it again. Ah, 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 ah. He's on it again. Ah, 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 ah." I don't know. Decide to sleep through the alarm, miss work, welfare torpor. I don't know. Sleep the rest of the day because I don't know. Next day I wake up still a cockroach, but now I'm unemployed too, and a bug. I don't know. Try to hang myself, but neck is too non-existent, nervous system is too distributed. I don't know. Crawl around on the floor eating sheetrock. I don't know. This is the most I've cleaned my house in years. I don't know. Crawl under a cabinet. I don't know. Wait for death. I don't know. Death comes and is like, I don't know. I'm like, want to play chess first? I don't know. Death says, sure. And I explain the rules to Highliner chess to him, one of my custom variants. And he's like, I don't know. I beat him because he gives up halfway through and I keep my soul or whatever, but it don't feel like a win because it was barely a game. I don't know. I close my bug eyes and dream I'm a man. I don't know. I wake up as a male faggot dreaming of being a woman. I don't know. I scream into the void of another day. I don't know.
Um, give me a minute. Oh, wait. Um, oh my God. I just need a second. Oh my God, man.
I need a second too. My pizza's here. I'll be back. No, actually, I still got the phone here.
Oh,
This
okay.
guy is.
You can still hear
I
me,
can still
man?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, man. Holy shit. So after your Zelensky poem last week, I didn't think I would laugh that hard at misery tourism for, I don't know, weeks or months. But yeah, you did it to me again. This is so good. This is so fucking funny. And yeah, like it's rooted in real pathos and real pain, and that makes it more effective. But the execution here is so brilliantly absurd, right? Like the chain of logic here, this is almost like if you give a mouse a cookie logic. Like this is almost like Dr. Seuss, like children's book logic. And it's executed in such a beautifully like unhinged and scathing way where you don't know what's going to happen from line to line, and yet it follows this discernible absurd logic, right? And the end result is something that's just hilariously funny and surprising. And I I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, thanks. I heard all that. The Dr. Seuss comment is high praise. Thank you.
Oh shit. Shit,
Oh
man.
boy. Let me read.
Entire Amish section that covers the anyway.
I broke down. I tried on that one, but I couldn't. I just
Oh,
couldn't.
oh my God. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. That was beautiful, beautiful stuff. And and I think so. Keith said that he has some Memorial Day themed poems to read, but he said it'd probably be best. Oh, here we go. He said it'd probably be best if he goes last. I have a feeling tonally they're quite different from the piece that you just read, but Jeff just sent me a DM just now saying he has a short piece he could read. So, Jeff, why don't you go next? And if anyone wants to read before Keith closes us out, you can drop something in the chat while Jeff is reading. All right, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks. I had to take my cool guy shades off so I could read this. Yeah, this is a little half baked, but I'll try it. So this one I titled Crack Alley. We talked at seventh period about scoring some H. After school, we hooked a ride to the alley near Arnold Street and got out. Steve's apartment was on the second floor. He forced us to hang out because everyone was in and out so much. He didn't want to alarm the cops. We sat on the couch listening. Steve's dad gave him his guitar before he died. It was a nice ovation with the skinny neck, easy to play, a grade A strummer. We talked about High on Fire and shit. Steve lit a bone and we smoked it. Then it was time to make the deal. Steve got out his briefcase. We took 2 bundles of H. It had something like a spider stamped on the bags. We wanted to leave, but he commanded us to stay. He gave us some free H, and we snorted it off his mirror coffee table. We sat on the couch laughing and listening to his sound system. Steve went and did some coke without us. He went crazy and grabbed his kitten up and threatened us to bet on it. How long you think it'll last? Steve, man, please, don't. He put the kitten in the microwave and pressed 1. It came out fine. He put it back in for 2 seconds. It looked okay. He put it back in and pressed 15. We were like, what the fuck, dude? We pushed him aside and saved his kitten at 3:27. Steve opened the microwave. He was petting his kitten. It was disoriented. Steve was a piece of shit. This has nothing to do with Cletus's poems, by the way.
Man, Jeff, man, the fucking tension in this poem is so good. And it starts building even sorry, excuse me. It starts building even before he takes out the kitten, right? Like there's just something like there's this like insidious dark energy running through the piece from the beginning. And even like the small details like the mirrored coffee table and like you get so much tension out of a very brief poem and out of a fairly understated one. There's this like I said, there's this sense of growing darkness throughout the piece. And then the thing with the kitten is so bleak that it becomes like funny at some level, right? Like you've got the tension there because it's like, what the fuck? Like, like seriously, like what the fuck? This is terrible. But also it's so like incredibly terrible that you're like that the what the fuck turns into a kind of like real pitch black comic thing that I think it's good. I think it's a great start for the piece.
Thanks, Rudy. Yeah, it's like drug insanity stuff, so it happens. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Um, so Ryan, you said you have something from a movie script.
Yeah, so I'm working on this movie script, and if we need, some extra people to read, I might not mind reading a portion of it and seeing what you guys think, because I'm kind of what's the word? Insular in this process. I feel kind of like tapped into my screen or something, and I need to air it out. Anyways, it'd be good for me to read it if you
Yeah,
guys want to hear
man.
it. All right.
Do it. Yeah, we've got plenty of time tonight. So yeah, you can do it now. And if anyone else would like to read after Ryan, put it in the chat. And if not, we'll close out after that with Keith. Okay, floor is yours.
All right, I'll read one scene, one or two scenes. The title of the movie is called Ever Know You. It starts in parentheses, dingy morning at the house with Orson Welles' War of the Worlds on the old radio. Rafina is at the counter spatulaing scrambled eggs from pan to plate. Alfie sits at table with eggs straight on tablecloth and a beer bottle with no label nearby his hands. His hands are on the table parallel to each other and he's staring into his eggs. Rafina, after commonplace movement. Alfie, you've got to know there's no such thing as fucking aliens. You've got to know. Breaks her plate of eggs and cherry tomatoes and spinach against the counter and points at Alfie. Your ass in that chair. Got any idea how many empires filled with living beings just like us across the vast historical timeline toiled against the unquenchable strife of pressing violence near at their shores and in their tents, and felt the weight of the unforeseeable future in their breathing throats for your snug ass to, putting your hands in gesture of ridiculousness, drop the momentum in everyone's day that we're currently living at through at warp speed to stare at your eggs and contemplate aliens? Alfie smirks and laughter breaks slyly. Hey, fucking aliens with their giga intelligences. They've accomplished a lot for humanity's sake. You might never know it. We're all in this together. He shrugs and shakes his head with closed eyes and uses his right hand to take a bite of the eggs, shakes his head again, and looks into Rafina's eyes, and the camera starts to circle them both. Rafina, scrounging bits of egg mess and broken plate to smear them on Alfie's face. You wonderful goon doll. Kissing his forehead and letting the eggs fall as he rejects another one of her kisses with a flail. Jones walks into the house. He wears a trench coat. Jones, coolly. Wake up, you companions of the brave, delicate universe. I've got a handful of reasons to take my boy Alfie to the Soaring Comet Diner on a Friday morning, and I intend to follow through on them. This very Friday morning where we stand, unreasonably uninhibited by any measurable factor of science or soul. Rafina, you can't take him today, Jonesy boy. Alfie here has a plethora of interviews. She double index finger points at Alfie in rapid succession. She straightens out, needs to follow through with. Alfie, so why don't you take my sister on a date? You always promised to. You're not a bad guy. He laughs over endearingly. Unless you shoot disgusting, emphasis, thoughts at me while I'm not there. Bro, who does that? Pouts. I know someone who does. He looks into the camera and his eyes roll away. Jones. Yes, Rafina, you'll be my darting pigeon as we float above our lives. I believe we're heading to, collects his thought with a gesture, Dulina Beach. Rafina, smirking. That's been my favorite ever since the Ferris wheel rolled into the sea. She glides a wash rag through Alfie's eggs. Jones, with sideways importance. It's your favorite because it's my favorite, and we were always meant to be together. In this moment that brought us together, and many more that will transpire at the speed of time. Alfie, go to the supermarket all connected to each other, get your dried up meat sticks, and leave me alone again. To this day that's about to be, grouchily, angled up to my face like a hidden surprise. Make shifty eyes, and then another flailing motion signaling for them to leave. They don't react until Jones says, Jones, sincerely touching and leaning over Alfie's shoulders, I hope you have the same semblance of luck in your career opportunities that it took for you to come to this planet and live however as you please. Rafina Dulina is calling us on the telephone. Rafina, 1-800 pick up. That's it.
Ryan, I love how you've structured the dialogue here. It has a real intensity to it. Like, even as these characters are talking about, excuse me, my throat is still fucked up from laughing at Rudy's piece. But even like as the stuff being discussed is this like more esoteric stuff like aliens and like the possibility of UFOs and like these sort of cosmic encounters, the dialogue is so sharp and feels so like on the one hand really it feels almost hyper real, right? There's that realism in like it mimics the cadence of real speech, but there's like such a high level of detail to the way that these characters are talking to each other. It's really riveting. I think it's exceptionally well written, and I mean, I would really love to hear more of it, especially because I'm a big fan of dialogue-driven films, right? Like, I'm somebody who really likes it if you sit a couple of characters in a room and have them have a really like energetic conversation with them and let the characters be smart too, which is something that you're allowing your characters to be. Like, like Tarantino or Mamet or something where the characters are allowed to be intelligent. They're allowed to bounce off of each other. They're allowed to use big words. They're allowed to have like really riveting conversations. And I think like this piece has that same energy to it. And I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the idea. So I'm glad it works, I'm glad it works for you, that's sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad you shared it. And now closing out the night, I don't think anyone, Rudy, did anyone put anything in the chat? I don't see anyone else. Nope. So closing out the
I
night
don't think
tonight
so.
is Keith. Keith, the floor is yours.
Thanks, William. So I'm going to try to drop a link here in the chat. In early 2010, a Marine was killed in Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Sorry to interrupt you, Keith, but I don't see the link in the chat.
I didn't send it.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There we go. We're good.
Right.
We're good. Sorry about that, Keith.
Thanks. In early 2010, a Marine was killed in Helmand Province, Afghanistan. 3 autofiction poems connected Memorial Day. Thank you for listening and remembering. First, situational awareness didn't matter. Kneeling in position as ordered, thinking about life, girls, friends, partying. Rising in position as ordered, thinking about death, home, buddies, family, exploding. This next one's on a clear, sunny day. In position, kneeling, invincible. The end. The plane lands. The rains begin. Coulda beens. The procession passes. Soon to be over for most. Back to the real world. Going to the mall, watching the Kardashians, living life. Thank you for your son's service. Sorry for your loss. And the last piece is the beginning of the ending. Trauma never ends. It sleeps and then awakens. Go away. Please. Please. Thanks, y'all.
Keith, those were extremely powerful poems. And I think you make a really smart choice here in these pieces, which is the decision to keep your prose really sparse, really, really concise and really sharp, because that enhances the emotional power of these poems, right? Like, a lot of people will try to get at the emotional power of something by like just layering on like more and more flowery prose. And I'm not completely opposed to that. I think that does work for some things. But for something like war, for something like grief and loss, this really sparse, stripped back approach has so much power to it. And I think especially in that first poem. I mean, the fact that the fact that the word exploding is allowed to stand alone in that way and given no more weight really than the words that come before it, right? Thinking about death, home, buddies, family, exploding. Like the way that in that one word, like you get like the suddenness of death, the tragedy of death, like everything that's lost without like dwelling upon it, right? Because like if you're the person who's killed, you don't even get the opportunity to dwell upon loss. You don't even get to like mourn the loss of yourself. You're just gone. And the way that you capture that, the suddenness of it, the tragedy of that, and then the way that you then go on to approach grief with that same stark, sparse, but really powerful approach, I think really works, like works tremendously well in the following poems as well. Like, and that final line of the third poem, just go away, please, please. The like doubling of please, the repetition of that hits so much harder because the poem up to that point has been so sparse, or the poems, I should say, up to that point have been so sparse, right? There's been no repetition before that. There hasn't been a single wasted word before that. So to see the word please repeated twice at the end there, like it makes the desperation and the urgency of that moment all the more powerful and all the more clear to the reader. These are really powerful poems, is what I'm saying, Keith. And I think you were right to say them to the end. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not sure we would have wanted to go from
Yeah.
that to say Rudy's poem.
Keith,
Right.
there's a line, your lines in there. I put this in the chat, but the first line of the first part of on a clear sunny day, the in position, kneeling, invincible, and then you have the break and the end. That is just such a great use of the of that break. I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
like usually when you see that in poetry. This is just what I see a lot. Is like there's nothing like there's not a clear separation between that in a lot of poems. Like there's not a clear separation when people put like physical separation between something. It doesn't like line up with what's happening, but just that triple punch there, kneeling, invincible, and then you have the space and then the end. You know, it's just like William said, it's just a really great way to express like the finality and stuff of death, but also like the suddenness and at the same time the almost like the futility of everything. It's just like, oh yeah, the end. Like it's like, yeah, all 1 minute you're invincible, you're Superman, the next minute you're fucking dead. It's just like that's really, really powerful. It hits hard, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. And I think we're going to end it there then. Obviously, I will, as usual, keep the Zoom meeting open for a little bit. People want to hang out, if people want to talk. But I think that's where we will close this Memorial Day weekend edition of Misery Loves Company. Thanks again to everyone who read tonight. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Cletus, wherever you are. Thank you to Rudy. Thank you to Jeff. And thank you to Keith. So this has been Misery Loves Company. We do this every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Anyone is welcome to come and join us. Anyone's welcome to come and share their work if there's an open mic on that night. Yeah, and we tweet out the link right before we begin from our Twitter account at Misery Tourism, all one word. And this has been great, guys. Thanks so much. All right, I'm going to end it there.